I'm an idiot. Okay.
We know.
Because I never put 2 and 2 together what COVID stood for, just because I never thought of it as an acronym. I always thought of it as just like a scientific term that was like, I'm just going to ignore what it means, like H1N1 or whatever, like that previous disease. I don't know what those symbols stand for. And I just realized that COVID just stands for CO, corona, VI, virus, D, disease. But I had never like put... Wait, are you?
I knew that.
Okay, but I did
not.
I didn't correlate the two together just because I just thought of them as completely different entities. But I wanted to dive into coronavirus real quick. I know we already did, but this is more around my non-boy, Alex Jones. I can't stand Alex Jones. So for those of you watching, we've brought him up. He's a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a fan of him at all, and I'm not a fan of conspiracy theories. I think anything could be kind of like told. I like. There's so many things that conspiracy theories like pulled together, like 9/11, like jet fuel, steel beams. Like I think there's so many facts behind all these conspiracy theories that you're grasping for straws. And the reason why he's trending on Twitter or trending in general is his wife recently shared a clip of him. So he went through and described on his radio show how he would kill and cook the family next door amid the coronavirus lockdown. So he literally said,
I saw that,
quote,
dude.
By the way, quote, I will eat my neighbors. I won't have to for a few years because I've got food and stuff. By the way, don't know what stuff entails too because he's talking about eating his neighbors.
Well, he's got a surplus of families in his basement, so he doesn't have to go to his neighbors for a while, you know?
And stuff. Because I've got food and stuff. But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now going, I'm ready to hang them up, gut them, skin them, chop them up, and then eat them.
Dude, what a fucking weirdo, man.
So obviously it's gone viral now. He's like pushing to advocate that he'll do anything for his kids, even if it means killing his neighbors. And I understand that. But much like what would you do for a Klondike bar, what's the most you do during quarantine?
He's slapping, he's slashing, he's stabbing. Chopping that meat.
Were you guys... Well, it was a serious question. Well, not a serious question, like an outlandish question. But I was just curious if, like, I know when we started going to the grocery stores, when the outbreak started happening and you saw all the riots. And I even remember going to the grocery store and seeing people close off, like, the pasta section so you couldn't reach to grab certain things. Have you guys seen anything... like ridiculous like that? Like, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I've just accepted the pandemic as just like a social norm, and like you see people's true colors in general with how people have reacted to it. You know, the people, if something bigger than the coronavirus would happen, how they would adapt and how they because what happens is at the end of everything, we spoke about like if there was like an apocalypse, like episode 2 or whatever, the people willing to do more evil are the ones more likely to succeed because the good isn't going to outstep the social norm of morals and morality. And I'm just curious like how you guys feel about that, and if you guys have seen anything out in public. Obviously it's died down since, but I found Alex Jones talking about it now. It was kind of weird that he's talking about eating his neighbors.
I think I'll go first real quick, but I think the biggest thing I would do, like the most extreme thing I would do if it came to that point, would be buying a gun. And I've talked to Joanna about it. Like, we have Diesel who would rip people to shreds if they ever broke into the house. But after he passes, if like the pandemic gets worse and worse and people, I'm not saying that it's going to turn into an apocalypse, but if it ever heightened to that scale, I don't like guns personally, but I think I would probably get one for safety maybe. But that's probably the most I would do in terms of worrying about it. I don't know. What about you, Moses?
I think, obviously I have guns. I think that just comes with the occupation. I have a lot of guns.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that type of apocalypse would be kind of fun, to be honest. Just doing crazy. I don't think I'm like on Alex Jones level where I'll eat people, especially my neighbors. I've seen them; they don't look too tasty. But I don't know, man. I think right now we wouldn't be too set, so we'd have to do like stupid, crazy shit, like. You'd have to think about like scavenging and like going to different stores. And obviously at that time, those stores would be pretty clear. So I don't know. You couldn't tell. Obviously Alex Jones is a fucking nut, but you couldn't really tell what people would do when they're not like, when they don't have food and shit like that. So I can't really say I wouldn't eat people, but I just know like, obviously like just through science, like if you eat human flesh, like you're gonna go crazy, like something happens in you, whatever it does, like
it's like a dog when they bite human flesh. It's like you literally have to put them down when they eat human flesh because they're like you don't know what they're capable of after that. It's almost the same like
and then
same theory.
If you brought your brain to the point of eating human flesh, your brain is at a certain point.
So you'd have to start hunting or doing regular nomad shit like that, hunting and fishing, stuff like that. And
dude,
I think you can last a pretty long time doing hunting and fishing.
I totally would be the fucking piggy. All right, this is a Lord of the Flies reference just because I just finished the book. I would be the piggy to Moses's fucking, what's the main guy? I don't know, the fucking main chief in there. Basically there's like a chief that runs shit or whatever, but like there's the hunters and then you have like the main chief that has the conch shell or whatever. I would be the piggy because I would be like the biggest pussy, but I would need someone to be like lead me around and like teach me how to do things, dude. Like no way.
I know one thing I wanted to go into is just like an article I recently read. There was in Flint, Michigan, there was a Family Dollar security guard that was killed after turning away a customer without a mask. And because he didn't have a mask, they didn't allow him in, and he killed him. And he was a father of 9.
Father of 9.
Father of 9, dude, which is baffling, like in its own right. And then I also wanted to just drop. There was something trending on Twitter that I kind of cracked up at. So there's this user called Drew Lewis who literally wrote like admission, like almost like admission of guilt. He goes, "I'm a time traveler from 2020. Enjoy 2016." And he posted this like as soon as the new year was happening in 2016, like December 31st, 2015. And he goes, "Enjoy 2016 is as good as it gets for a while." And then he retweeted it recently. He goes, this tweet aged well.
which is the opposite that you normally hear.
Literally.
So weird, dude. Because me and Brandon have talked about this. There's so much. Think about the billions of fucking people on this earth and like everything someone says that I'm going to say right now. By the way, enjoy 2020 while you're at it, because 2024, there's a giant artificial intelligent war that breaks out and we all end up having to serve to our overlords, the robots. And when you are watching this in 2024, make sure to see how well this ages.
You could predict shit so far in the future and just like, well, look at fucking Matt Groening and The Simpsons. Like when you make 25 years of episodes, some things, if 10 things turn out to be right that are futuristic, that's not that like crazy. And when you see all those articles about like Matt Groening is like part of the future, oh, Donald Trump's president and stuff like that, but it's like, that's not that far-fetched. Like you could literally dig up. I'm sure like we talked about the book that predicted the coronavirus and they said, oh, the Wuhan virus. And because they said the Wuhan and virus, it correlated. And then he's known, to predict the future, so to speak. But there's so many fucking possibilities.